Hello and welcome to the Eventual Knits podcast. My name is Leah. I am your host, also known as Eventual on Ravelry, Eventual Knits on YouTube, and Miss_LJV on Instagram. So today is March 25th. It's a Monday. I'm so happy to be back. I had spring break 2 weeks ago and it was amazing, and I feel like I mentioned it in my last podcast, but it's worth mentioning again. I've had 1 week back at school and I am ready for another spring break. So the weather has finally started warming up. It's crazy how we got like 3 feet of snow over the course of a couple weeks, and then it warmed up and now it's gone. It's been in the 40s a lot, 40s Fahrenheit, which has been awesome. And it really helps me feel like spring is coming. Yay, spring! I love spring. I have been really excited about getting out and doing walks. I really like walks in like upper 40s, mid 50s. The 60s is great for like, it's not hot yet, it's just warm, and doing little walks. I hear a cat scratching at the door. All right, so now that the cat has been taken care of, let's start with what am I wearing? Well, I am wearing my crocheted lap Afghan. I think it's decent for a lap blanket. It's a square though, not a rectangle, so I just keep it on my upstairs couch and it's comfy. It's the only thing I've ever crocheted that's like substantial, and I think it's super cute. This is not new. I knit it, I crocheted it not last summer but the summer before. I can't remember when I did this, but it's my first Afghan. And I haven't been using it on the podcast, which is weird. It's always like right over there on the floor, or a cat's on it or something. But that's my blanket for tonight. And what I'm wearing is my completed My Boy Lollipop crop top by Nancy Ricci, otherwise known as Getting Pearly with It. It's a crop top, as you can see. And when I swatched, I was getting 5.5 stitches per inch with the 7s, so I went up to 8s. That's kind of a lie. That's not a lie. So I went up to 8s, and then I swatched again, and I got 5.5 stitches per inch again and I did it in the round. So I was really confused. I figured I must have started knitting more tightly, and so I was like, whatever, if I'm getting the same, then going up a size will definitely like change it once I get into it. Knitting this was really fast, super easy, so fun. And then when I blocked it, I was like, it looks a little wide, a little big. I knit the 34-inch because my bust is about a 37, and so I knit a 34, but when I blocked it, it came out a little bit bigger than that. So this is pretty loose, as you can tell, but I mean, it sits fine on me, but I think that the next time I make it, I'm definitely going to go to the size 7s, and I don't know, maybe knit the 32? I'm not really sure what I want to do. I still feel like I want to do the 34, but maybe with 7s it'll change it a bit and be a little bit more true to size. But this is knit in the Malabrigo Arroyo Anniversario colorway. The Arroyo is the yarn, the colorway is Anniversario. And I loved it. I got super excited, posted it on Instagram, and Getting Pearly with It, Nancy shared it, and I'm so excited, so happy to support her. And she's so cute and adorable, and she's always posting like really cute, like, these are my outfits, you know, like with how you can wear your knitting, and it's really, really cute, very inspiring. And so I love this top. It's so soft and squishy. And guess what? This weekend I had to immediately go out and buy new yarn. This is another, I believe, Malabrigo Arroyo. Let's see. It is a Malabrigo Arroyo in the colorway Chameleon. I assume Spanish for chameleon. So beautiful. So this is like matches my hair because of Beautiful Coincidence sweater, and this will be my spring colors sweater. Oh my gosh, like for just oh. I love the pretty colors. Yeah, I cannot wait. This was knit in like 3 days, and it was not a long time. It was not a super like effortful knit. It went by so fast, a lot of quick stockinette. After you knit this part and separate for the sleeves, picking up for the sleeves is super easy. I mean, and you only knit like the 3 rows. And when I knitted, I was really worried, again, when I didn't know it was gonna grow, I was really worried that the arms would be too tight, because in the pattern, it said that they should be about 11 inches around, and I think my arms are pretty big for a smaller person, and they are about 12 inches around. And so I was really worried it was going to be tight, and nothing upsets me more when trying, like, I don't like wearing things with tight sleeves. I don't like the way that makes my arm feel. I don't like the way it makes my arm look. And so I picked up more stitches, and then ended up being way, way, way too big. Like, I mean, Steve said it looked fine, but then when I like put my arm down and it kind of puffed out, so I redid those. It was really easy. Just, I can't remember if I did both. I think I did do both. It wasn't hard to redo them. And so the main part of the body is in the stockinette, and then the bottom part is in a twisted rib. And I really like how the colors are broken up here, and then how they split up, or how they pool in the twisted rib. So it did require, for this one, it required a full skein, and each skein, so this is Superwash Merino, 335 yards. Oh yeah, I think that she said it requires about 400 yards. Yeah, so I used about a skein and what felt like maybe like a third of the second skein. So I think I changed skeins about where the ribbing starts. Super fast, super fun, super amazing. Love, love, love. Great time. Gonna start the new one soon. So that's my my first thing. And let's see, the next thing is, this is by Becca Ron. Oh, I have no mug to like give credit for today. I don't even know where I got this or where this came from. Maybe this might have come from my local co-op, the Wedge. It has like a knitting pattern on it, or like to me it looks like a stockinette. It's definitely a stockinette mug. Oh, well, I did make a little bit of progress on this, not super much. This is my Hampton cowl, and just looking at the Narrow, who's definitely bothering Steve downstairs right now. Just came running upstairs. Huh, Narrow? You being annoying? And this is Claudia Hand Paints in the colorways Jungle and Bayou, 2 strands held together. Haven't made a lot of progress on it. This is my like at my work meetings knitting, or if I'm like walking or traveling someplace that I can't be looking at my knitting. Are you gonna come up here and stop being annoying downstairs? Yeah, that's Narrow. Narrow gets jealous. He wants attention. So I showed you when I finished sock 1 of 2 for, well, okay, I have finished sock 1 of 2 and 2 of 2 and 3 of 2 and 4 of 2 for Steve's socks, and now finally we figured out how much he likes the heel and gusset, and I mentioned that last time. So this is the sock that I finished, and then I wonder if I put the heel in here. I don't think I did. So I went on his second sock that I had already finished, so I guess the first sock, I don't know, third sock, and I tore out the afterthought heel. I undid all the ribbing, tore out the afterthought heel, and I have just finished the gusset. So, you know, I tore all the way back down to here. I mean, it had been up here, and I just finished the gusset, and I'm about to start the heel. So I have the sole stitches and the top of the foot. Yeah, the sole stitches and the top of the foot on a circular 9-inch needle. These are size 1s. And then I have the heel flap stitches on just a straight needle. And that's how I'm going to knit back and forth for the wrap and turns and all that stuff for the heel turn. So that's where I'm at with that. Yesterday I called it Sock Sunday. I just worked on it, super motivated, really excited. Once I get through the wrap and turns and all that kind of good nonsense, it will go pretty quickly from there, because if you look at this sock, we do the turn, get the heel, flap, rows, and then just a few rows and a really short ribbed top. And this yarn, I always forget, it's like Ogle Design Fiber Arts, but I don't know if I know the colorway. Something yellowy. And then Duckpool Lane, one of my favorite bags. Yes, you're very pretty. Very love. What a kitty baby. Look real fat. And what else am I working on right now? Oh, where? Oh, it's in my bag. Okay, not a huge deal. I am also working on my Whether or Not scarf for the Whether or Not weather scarf along, basically, for the year. Look, it's longer. So last time I showed you where I was. It was at the end of February, which is here, and I have knit up to here for March. As you can see, in March, so we got some cold, pretty cold, but not super cold. Oh no, it got really cold again for one day. The high was 0 that day, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it was pretty cold again, and then look at that. Since then, it's been mildly cold to, this green is the 40s and 50s, and this green is the 30s and 40s. This is Meadow, and this is Ivanhoe. This is Butterfly, this is Ice Blue. I see the dark blue is Harbor. Oh, he did not like that noise. So the dark blue is Harbor, and then Ice Sea, and then Ivanhoe, Meadow. So as you can see, it's mostly been colder than average right here. This is warmer than average here. So average right now is in the mid 40s. It's been or the lower 40s, I should say. Like this month, so it started in the mid 30s, and then about halfway through the month it gets to like 42, 43, 44, 45. Right now we're supposed to be at 45s and 46s, but like for example, 2 days ago on Saturday the high was 54. So it's been kind of all over the place. And as I said, the way that I am doing mine, it's the same if it's within plus or minus 2 degrees, and so above or below that, it's going to be higher or lower. So that's where I'm at. I'm all caught up. I'm just doing every day. It's like I'm like 1 day behind because like the site that I'm using doesn't list the like actual high for the day until the following day, even if it's like later that night. So 1 day behind, but I'm caught up and I plan on staying caught up. I think on the Knit Girls, I think they were when they had Amy Florence on, they actually had one of them using this yarn. This yarn is Coast yarn. It's 55% lamb's wool, 45% cotton. It's 350 meters, 383 yards. It says it's for 2.5 to 3 millimeter needles. I am using a size 3 US. It does not say. The size 3 US. Oh, it does. 3.25 millimeter needles. So it's a little bit airier than the thing calls for. But one of them on the podcast described it as crunchy. And like, that is such a good way to describe it. It's so hard to explain because when you have it in a pile like this, it's squishy. But when you have it individually, it does feel sort of like crackly crunchy. Like, it's not like uncomfortable to knit with. It just doesn't seem, it's just like, it's just a weird texture. And they explained that once you block it, it softens up and it like becomes much nicer. So I'm really looking forward to that at the end of this year. And in my work bag, last but not least for what I am currently working on is my goldfish memory shawl. So last time I showed you the shawl, I was right here. Right here. I was at the end of section 4. Yeah, the end of section 4. I finished section 5, which is like an alternating garter stockinette with a couple of the colors. And now I am on section 6, which is alternating in 2 of the different colorways, the lighter colorway and the main colorway. So for me, it's like a speckled white and a yellow. And it's like 60 rows of stockinette. And I am not going to do 60 rows of knit and purl. So I quick taught myself yesterday how to do backward stockinette. I knitted a little looser on that way back on what would be supposed to be doing the wrong side. I knit it slightly looser, but I mean, like, you can, I mean, it really doesn't look that bad. Like, I don't know. I think it'll be okay. Because, you guys, I cannot get through 60 rows of back and forth. Sorry, I'm spoiled. And so I taught myself how to do that real quick. It's not that difficult. It's a little slow, but I started picking it up. It's interesting how to do it. The yarns for this are, I know I stuck the, I have Ching Fiber, High Twist BFL, 100% superwash BFL wool, 365 meters, 100 grams in the colorway Salt. And I believe that is the white. And then the other 2 are Hedgehog Fibers. Hedgehog Fibers sock. 100 grams, 400 meters, 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon, and colorways anemone, and banana legs. So anemone's the orange, banana legs is the yellow. So this is where I'm at on my Goldfish Memories shawl. It is a like diagonally running rectangular shawl. That's what I got so far. I'm super excited. So I think there's 12 repeats in the pattern, and then, or not 12 repeats, but like 12 sections in the pattern, and then I'm gonna block it, and I'm excited to wear it for spring. And this is all being stored in my cute little cat bag with the little cat balls on the mauve color. And I think this was, I don't want to say the wrong person here. Oh, yes, I did know it. It's Wuthering Sheep, and you can find them on Etsy. And I think that's it for all that I'm working on right now. I did like a little bit on my vanilla latte socks, but I was dumb and didn't like keep track of where I was in the heel flap, and so I have to like figure out where I'm at, like if I'm finished, am I not finished? I don't think I'm finished. I think I have a few rows left, and then I can get all those together and then knit the foot. So that's where I'm at on that. Other things are, what have I gotten lately? So I already showed you the Malabrigo yarn that I'm super excited to knit with, cannot wait. I'm also really excited about the leftover yarn. Like I don't know what I want to do with it, but it's such a pretty color. I cannot wait. The person who I talked to a lot at my local yarn shop said that we are about to get in a crap ton more Malabrigo, so I cannot wait, so excited. So yarns that I have gotten, I just got this today. This is String 3 Colorworks on the Matrix base. It's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% stellina in the colorway Lagoon Nebula. So you can see it's a sparkly, and it's like white and purple and pink. It says it is 7 rows pink, 3 rows white, 7 rows navy, 3 rows white, 7 rows pale navy, 3 rows white. And the Matrix colorway bases, I believe, were on sale recently, so that's why I picked up a skein, and it comes with a cute little matching stitch marker. Super excited. And I got what I think is the last, my house is making noise, self-striping colorway for the self-striping Miyazaki Club. So when I signed up for this a year ago, I thought Polar Opposites sounded amazing, like that you get 2 skeins for socks in like opposite colorways. I love the idea of mismatched socks. This contrast color is, I feel like it's showing up as more of a brown. But it's more like a deep rust or deep copper something, but it's so pretty. And I thought that the last colorway was supposed to be Naushka, but we were all shipped Princess Mononoke, which is just fine with me. It's 80% South Superwash Merino, 20% nylon, 200 yards each. But yeah, when she posted the, I can't remember what the other option was. It's not, it was like the Charles striping or something. I feel like if she did another one of these again, Canon Hand Dyes, Amy, I would probably do the Charles self-striping or something, whatever the other one is. This is really cool, but they're like subdued colors. I felt like a lot of them were a little similar. I mean, to be fair, they use a lot of the same colors in Miyazaki movies, but I'm really excited about this one. This is like very different from the other colorways that she sent during the self-striping or I mean during the self-striping socks club. And so I really hope she does something like this in the future. And I can't wait. I did miss a month, and I think it was just getting wires crossed. Like, I don't know, I always paid all the invoices like immediately when she sent them. She just like missed me one month, and like the months got all off. And so I think I missed one that I didn't really care that much about. It might have been Castle in the Sky, or maybe not. I don't know which one I missed. It was weird. But anyway, super excited to knit some socks with this. I've only knit the Ponyo ones, I think. No, I knit only the My Neighbor Totoro ones, the Mei and Satsuki socks, which were orange and pink and orange, and that was really, really fun. So, my last skein for the Miyazaki self-striping. And last thing, I think, is I got this month's Darn Good yarn. It's a cute little skein of purple and red. It actually really matches my shirt. So this is a speckled tweed recycled silk in begonia. It's 50 grams, 55 yards. It's a medium pulled silk and sari silk. Handmade in India. And then it came with, so you get like little things every month. This month it came with a pom-pom tassel. And the patterns that it came with for this one, I never expect to want to use any of the patterns because I don't like really small items. I like to use them in other things. But a bobble bracelet for knitting, a bobble bracelet for crocheting, and then a Gemini and a little cowl for both knitting and crocheting. So it says, this month you receive our speckled tweed recycled silk yarn in begonia. Vibrant and blissful, this yarn combines traditional and contemporary to give you the best of both worlds. The base is made from the same pulled silk as our best-selling lace-weight silk yarn, and the speckles woven into it are from sari silk scraps. The vivid colors, luxurious and fun texture of this yarn is like a little slice of heaven in your hands. So they also provided a really cool picture of like their big spinning machines. So that was this month. And the last goodie I have is I got the correct size from Nerdbird Makery in the shirt. Oh, I'm so excited. I want to wear this every day. It's so cute. It says fuel up on fiber. Oh my god, I cannot wait to be wearing this. So hype. Recently, some of my students have expressed interest in knitting, and I do have a lot of knitting needles and some yarn at work, and I have been trying to teach them, but I think that needles for, like, most of them are 6th graders. Needles for young kids can be really difficult if they haven't crafted for much of their life, and so I did order a few square looms so that they can work on those, and they should come tomorrow hopefully. And on Wednesday I'm going to try to teach my kiddos how to use them, because that way they can actually make like scarves and stuff and feel pretty happy about them. I've definitely had several kids, there's a cat over here making muffins on the blanket. I've had several kids over the winter be like, you have to make me a hat, I need a hat, you know, because they see all of my knitted things, hats and scarves and whatnot, so I can help them make their own. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, so I think that's all for my knitted things, in terms of specific knitted things. A few other things that I would like to mention are that things that I really want to be making right now, or that are like on my radar to be making, are I really want to make the file wrap. It is a wrap where you can tuck the end in through holes in the other end. That seems super amazing. I really want to get something like that. Some good knitting that I want to make. I really, really want to make the Severine by Vanessa Smith. I think it would work really well with the curves on my body. It also seems like it's, I mean, I've never knit a full sweater before, but the description of it seems like it is something that I could do. So it says, Severine is a chic pullover featuring a generous cowl neck and mirrored motifs that form a flattering hourglass shape against a reverse stockinette stitch background. The relaxed but feminine fit is timeless and wearable in a variety of settings. This is so the pullover is knit seamlessly from the top down with simultaneous set-in sleeves. You begin by casting on for a cowl neck size just right for wearing traditionally or off the shoulder. If a cowl neck is not to your liking, instructions for a shorter boat neckband are included. After completing the neckline, you'll shape the sleeve caps, yoke, and armholes at the same time. Once the sleeves are separated from the body, the knitting is smooth sailing, and all you need to complete next are the sleeves, without having to first pick up stitches around the armholes. So it seems right up my alley, something I really want to make. And Hunter Hammerson did have a sale recently. It was for 10 hours, where all of their patterns were 50% off. And so I bought the set for Correlation and Causation, which are a hat and glove set. And Hunter Hammerson, if you don't know them, are super known for really creative knits. So that's the hat, and it has really clever cables. And the gloves are the exact same thing, really clever cables. So that seems interesting. Not super high on my radar, but like high enough for like maybe next winter. And last but not least, sort of getting us into our next section here, is I'm going to start the Grow Teen shawl. So Grow Teen is a pattern by Electric Tree, Carolyn Dick, and it is a super amazing shawl. So I want to get a couple of pictures here to show you. So like this one was just posted recently, so it in any sort of colorway, it makes it look really, really amazing. So I honestly might want to use a Malabrigo for it. Subculture Yarns also did a really good one here. So there's a Grow Teen Along starting tomorrow. It is, I think it's just for a month, and it starts tomorrow, the 26th of March, and all proceeds from the pattern go to True North Aid, which is a humanitarian support group that provides support to Indigenous communities in Canada. And if you're a crocheter, Funky Cat Crochet made their own version of the pattern, and all of that proceeds goes to the Native American Rights Fund. So if you're a knitter or a crocheter and you want to do the Grow Teen Along, you should definitely check out either of those two. And super excited, it looks really pretty, cannot wait, want to start doing that. Yeah, super excited. I also have been really into looking at Subculture Yarns' posts. They're just really informative, very vivid, bright posts. I love the Tech Tuesdays, where they just talk about little knitting, not even necessarily knitting, but like yarn tips and tricks and stuff like that. Nancy Ricci of Getting Pearly With It reposted my My Boy Lollipop pictures that I put on Instagram, reposted them on Instagram. Telly Bean Knits, Stephanie Lavin, also reposted my cowl from the other week, my shortcut cowl on Instagram, so that was pretty exciting. It's like people that I really admire and follow reposting my stuff is like the most insane, exciting compliment I could ever get. So excited. and podcasts that I've been listening to or watching lately. Knit More Girls. So I used to listen to Podbean when I couldn't figure out Apple Podcasts or something. I wasn't sure where people put their podcasts, and so I listened to Podbean for a long time, and when I switched over to Apple Podcasts, I just like lost the Knit More Girls off of my like feed, and so I rediscovered them like a week ago, and I've been catching up. And of course, Nadira Tani, Kalisha on YouTube. I've been listening to or watching Nadira Tani every time she uploads something. This week, right now, I'm currently enjoying the Yarniacs. Last week, I was listening to the 2U's and really enjoying it, and also the Knit Girls and Geeky Girls Knit. I think that is all for my knitting stuff. A couple life things. In my dance game tournament, I think I'm gonna definitely place second. It has been a really tight competition, and I just think that I'm reaching the limits of my skill, and second is okay. It's only round 2 anyway. I'm looking forward to round 3. Been working really hard, and also supporting my friends in their playing, so that has been fun. My yoga studio is doing a 21 in 30, so you just have to do 21 classes in 30 days, and it allows you to double up. Like, you can do count to up to 2 classes per day towards it. And so, like, for example, there's a woman next to me today who is saying that, you know, she's going to be out of town for 2 weeks, and so she's trying to double up as much as she can, and so that she can get her 21 in 30. So that makes sense. Personally, I only like to do 1 yoga class a day if I'm going to do yoga. I mean, like, super gentle classes leading into a more intense class I can do, or vice versa, but it just gets long. 2 hours is a long time at yoga, because you know, it's, first of all, you have travel time there and back, and then waiting and setting up and all that kind of stuff. So I prefer to really only do 1 a day. But it's a really good opportunity to get back into yoga. And yeah, just looking into other work stuff, other things that I can do job-wise, what my plans are for this summer. In the gaming community, Sekiro came out today. I know it's not the full name of the game, or not today, it came out on Friday, and Steve and my friends have all been playing it. Personally, it's supposed to be kind of like a Dark Souls game or Bloodborne. To me, it's my least favorite of all of them. Like, this area that Steve's been in lately has been much prettier than other areas, but the game itself seems pretty samey. You don't get different weapons, or, like, you know, you always have to employ really similar strategies between bosses. So to me, it's a little bit more of a disappointment than the Dark Souls games or Bloodborne, but it seems pretty enjoyable to Steve, and it's been interesting to watch. I've also been watching my friend Noah do speedruns or general gaming. Steve and a couple of our friends are doing like a list of games that they have to play through, so they each picked 10 games, and so it's 30 games and they have to play through it. And so Noah, his name is Nornz on Twitch, he is doing Phantasy Star 4 right now, and Steve is working on Crosscode, and so that's been interesting to watch. Lastly, I just wanted to do a little recommendation here. If you're interested in food related things, I would recommend this book, Blue Zones by Dan Bittner. I listened to the audiobook of this like a year or 2 ago, but then last summer I went and bought the actual hardcover book because of all the recipes in it. The Blue Zones is 5 areas in the world that researchers have discovered with the longest lived people, and so they studied the areas. It's all over the world. I want to say so it's Osaka. I want to say it's Osaka, Ikaria, So it's Ikaria, Greece, oh, I said Osaka, I meant Okinawa. Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Loma Linda, California, and Nicoya Peninsula, Costa Rica. Those are, so for example, so the Secrets of a Mediterranean Diet, that's the Ikaria, Greece. A Diet from the World's Longest Lived Women, that's in Okinawa. A Diet from the World's Longest Lived Men, Sardinia, Italy. An American Blue Zones diet in Loma Linda. And History's Best Longevity Diet, which is Nicoya. So it's all different kinds of food, all different kinds of people. They found so I think it's like the world's highest like populations of centenarians, so people who live to be 100 or around 100. And they found several things, I think it's 10 that they had in common, even though they're all different and all over the world. And what I love about the recipes in this book is that it's not many ingredients, a huge variety, easy to make, because a lot of these people live in more like simpler areas where you can't just go to the fast food places and whatever. So they have like, I mean, a lot of it is obviously access to local ingredients, but there's a lot that you can do with it. And so I really, really love the recipes in this book because they appeal to all kinds of diets, and they're simple, and they're really they taste really good. And so that's like a big suggestion I have. Most of the recipes are vegetarian, just because the longest lived people are mostly vegetarian, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Not all of them is. Most of the places that eat meat eat a very small amount, or they eat a little bit of fish, but like fish and eggs are not super high. And they do encourage a decent amount of wine. I assume dry wines, not maybe the Moscatos that I enjoy. But yeah, so if you're interested, you should totally check this out. So that's my recommendation. I just kind of always keep going back to it, so I just thought I might suggest it. I think that is all I have for today. And thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.